Hello, YouTube and Facebook family. Thanks for coming back with me to chat with Cece this Sunday evening. And we're here to talk about different topics today, especially the Jussie Smollett case. You know, that's been an interesting case. Really, I thought they had forgot about that case. At least I thought it was over and done with, but apparently it wasn't. I guess they didn't want to fool with it during COVID, but it came back, and it came back with a big bang and a lot of controversy. So, you know, we're going to talk about that and just, the equal justice about it, because I was talking about it with somebody else, and some people think that, he should get the book. He haven't got sentenced yet. He got pleaded guilty, but some people say, they should throw the book at him, and then some people say that they still support him, which I don't know. I don't know. Well, like I say, I'll express my opinion later. But in the meantime, if you come on here, whether you're on here right now or you're looking at the video later, just comment and come chat with Cece, and I'll comment back, and we could talk about it. So the first thing I want to tell you, everybody should know Jussie Smollett. He played on Empire, and about, I guess, 2019, Empire was going kind of downhill at off the air. They had been on a couple of seasons, and all of a sudden, out the blue, he claimed that two guys, now he's in Chicago, but he claimed that two guys hijacked him 2:00 in the morning while he was going out to go to Subway to eat. I don't know what Subway was out 2:00 in the morning. Maybe that happens in Chicago, but he was going out 2:00 in the morning to eat, and two guys, white guys, and he specifically said white. He's seen their faces, and they had gloves on, but he's seen their arms and everything. He said there was a white guy with mega hats on, and Donald Trump had the "Make America Great Again" the mega hats, and they had on the mega hats and was saying the N word and different stuff. So he was making it like a hate crime too, and said they roughed him up, beat him up, and put a rope around his neck. He broke away and he ran home, and he didn't immediately call. The police. He called. I think it was Lee Daniels. He called Lee Daniels, and then he called the police. And so anyway, everybody was all up in. I remember when I first heard it, I was like, man, he got kidnapped or jacked up. But then, when I really heard the whole story, I mean, for a while, I guess, I was wondering too, some white guys really, why they after him? He's an actor. He's not anything that you would think that, he's not anything that you would think that would be, especially, I don't know. He just nobody I would think that, white extremists would be after. And how they know he was going to be out at 2:00 in the morning? The whole story was suspect. And I didn't know what to think about it. I think right off, I don't know. I don't think God believed it. I don't. It just sounded strange to me. You in a way you wanted to believe him, but then you didn't want to believe him. And so, anyway, I put on there, please subscribe. If you subscribe and hit the bell, then you'll know when I'm coming on. So if you like to come on and talk with me, please hit that. But anyway, like I say, I think people had mixed emotions about it, but mostly a lot of people didn't believe him. And his friends, he got movie star friends, Taraji and Terrence Howard and Bashir, I don't know what's his name, his co-star. Everybody was behind them. Well, you know what? If it's your friend, even though in the back of your mind you may think, okay, now this is giving them the side eye, but really, I guess you would kind of want to back them up, because they're your friends, so you kind of want them back them up, but inside you probably know that something is seriously wrong with this story. And now when the police investigated, I guess the police was the main one that said, okay, this don't add up, and rightfully so. But what I think the Chicago police made an error with, I haven't never seen on an investigation that the police chief just come on and say outright that he's lying. I don't know. Have you? I mean, like I say, write in the comments if you ever heard that. Now, I kind of thought that was a little bit out. I never seen a police chief come and say that somebody's lying. That's not for the police to say. The police is there to enforce the law, not there to make a whole case. I mean, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. He haven't even went to court, and the Chicago police came on television just saying he flat out lied. Now, I think something should be said for that, even though, yeah, I think he flat out lied too. But I think that was very out of order for the police to do. What do you think? Do you think? I mean, I haven't never seen the police come out and just say somebody guilty without a trial. But okay, so that's the backstory behind it. And like I said, it was kind of on a standstill. And I think with COVID and everything, everybody just forgot it. It just went on about their business. But, they didn't forget anything. So now COVID is kind of at the end of we're at the end of the pandemic. And so fast forward, they ready for them now. So they went to court. The trial didn't last that long. And he got on trial. Now, one thing I had a feeling about, and you tell me what you think about this. Okay. During his testimony, because he said the same crap, I shouldn't say crap. Okay, let's go back again. Okay, he testified the same, to the same story on the stand. I'm quite sure they offered him a plea, but apparently he didn't take it. To me, I think he would have done better just taking a plea just to get it all over with and let the chips fall where they may. But he's still gonna take his whole family out there. And some people say, well, if I was his family, I wouldn't have. I knew he lying. I wouldn't have even showed up. But no, you don't do that. If that was my family, and even if I knew he was lying, I'm going to show up to court. That's what you're supposed to do. If you're a family or a friend, you're supposed to support. That's what you're supposed to do. But anyway, they came and, he got a sister that his whole family is kind of actors, but the sister is more famous than anybody else. Everybody was supporting him. And he got on the stand and told the same story. Well, they was going to poke holes all through that story. The white man turned out to be two black Africans from Nigeria that was, really black. And he's saying that definitely seen the white skin with their gloves. And I think one of them had pulled off their mask during the fight or something. And he swear they was white. Now, how could you mix that up with these Nigerians that was definitely black? So that was one thing. And then they found out the Nigerians, went to the store and bought the rope and everything that he claimed was still around his neck. And then when he ran home, even though, first of all, where they was gonna tie him up at. Okay, if they put a noose around his neck. I mean, do Chicago got big trees to hang somebody with? I mean, that's kind of stupid anyway. But when they got the two brothers, then the brothers turned evidence against Jussie Smollett, and come to find out, they was not only friends, they was allegedly sexual partners, and they proved that he did gave them some money, even though Jussie said that he got the money for other reasons, but they proved that he did pay him some money. And I think, it was shown some back and forth. He didn't want to give up his phone to the police. He said it was for another reason, which I'll get back to. But it was talk between the two brothers and him. So, in a way, I just have to say, I don't see what testimony he would have gave that would have changed any jury's mind, but that's what he did. Okay, so question, and like I say, if you want to come chat with Cece, please write in and tell me what you think about the whole story. But most of all, while he was testifying, he threw a lot of people under the bus. Number one, him and Don Lemon was friends. Both of them gay. Not to say they had a relationship, but they was friends. And Don Lemon works in media, so like I say, if you're a friend, you're supposed to support your friends, through thick and thin. I'm not saying do a crime with them, but you're gonna support. So at this time, I'm quite sure Don Lemon thought that, especially being gay, and people tend to have violence against the gay community. So, he probably was in an uproar too. Like, okay, somebody had the audacity to attack him. It's a hate crime because he's gay, because he is black. So he believed him. Don Lemon really believed him. And because he was on CNN saying stuff, about Jussie Smollett, and he got attacked and everything. And, he was just kind of on his side, which I personally don't think nothing was wrong. He was reporting the news. He was reporting what Jussie had said. I mean, and at that point, that's what everybody had known. Okay, so when the police came out and they gave their big interview and said he's flat out lying, Don Lemon text him, because he got the firsthand news. He texted Jussie and just told him that, look, the police is going to ask for your phone and stuff because they don't believe you. Now, I don't know. Some people are asking for Don Lemon, especially people at Fox News that, been waiting for Don Lemon anyway to get fired. But, they want him to get fired because they said that it was a breach of duty that he alerted Jussie to say that the police didn't believe him. I don't know if that's a breach or not. If you have a friend, something. I mean, because at that time he wasn't convicted. I mean, they didn't have a warrant out for his arrest, so it's not like he wanted him to tell him to flee out the house because he's about to get arrested. He just said that the police didn't believe you, which a lot of people didn't believe him. So I don't know if that's a breach. I think that was more of a friendship thing. But the audacity, Jussie got on the stand. Now already you're in trouble. Why would you snitch on your friend who tried to help you? I mean, if you are, I mean, that's just the low of the low to me. I mean, and I imagine Don Lemon, well, I shouldn't imagine because Don Lemon is mad with him and he's definitely not supporting him now. But you're already in knee deep up in feces, let's just say feces. You already knee deep up in it. And you're gonna sit up there and throw other people's names up that nobody even knew about, but now you're gonna implicate them just because you going downhill. I don't get that. So now Don Lemon saying, he telling everybody too that he don't believe it. And I do have a little clip on that. somewhere around here. But in the meantime, now Fox News is putting out Black Lives Matter is saying that they stand behind Jussie. And they did. I wanted to see what did they have to say, because I know Fox News get they mix up a lot of Black Lives Matter. I don't even know why they go to their website, because they just take everything Black Lives Matter say and just switch it around and put it out there like they want to put it out there. So Black Lives Matter did support Jussie before the verdict, and which I think they should have, because, like I said, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So that was December 7th. They put out a statement saying that. Let's see how long the statement is. Do I want to read it? Okay, basically, I'm just gonna shorten it, telling you basically what they said. They support him, and they said they supporting people in their community because it's clear that he's being railroaded by a white supremacist charade. I mean, I don't think I would have went that extreme with it, but that's what they did, make this comment that he's being railroaded, and that the Chicago Police Department is out to get a Black man who has been courageously present, visible, and vocal in the struggle for Black freedom. While policing at large, Chicago police is notorious for its long, deep history of corruption, racism, and brutality. Okay, which is true. I mean, but hey, that's been true all around the nation. And so it said that Black Lives Matter will continue to work towards the abolishing the abomination of police and every unjust system, and we continue to love and protect one another and wrap their arms around Jussie, as he's going to usher into Black freedom and extension and freedom for everyone else. Okay, so basically they were just putting their support around him. So Fox News made a big deal about it, but really that's not a big deal, because that was before the verdict. His verdict came down December 10th. That was December 7th, and they haven't put out they haven't retracted it, but they don't have to. There's no set guideline on when you have to put out a retraction statement, or if you have to put out a retraction statement. But anyway, so that's, again, Fox News doing their thing, just taking Black Lives Matter words and just mixing it up to say, oh, you did this. But they stood behind him. They are organization. He wasn't found guilty yet, so they stood behind him. But that was on the 7th. Now the 10th, he got his verdict read, and they haven't said anything. So you don't know how they really feel. I mean, really, this is an embarrassment for everybody who really supported him, because even though injustices it is true, and people don't think Black Lives Matter, as we could see, we don't want to just go around blaming everything, like, because it has been done to us. Every time something happened and people want to get away with it, oh, a big Black man did it, and then the police raffle up all big Black men, and somebody get charged who was an innocent man. So we don't want to do the same thing to him. So that just wasn't right. Okay, so let's read the verdict. Now, this is another thing that I don't think this is fair. I mean, okay, personally, I think Jussie was lying. That's just my personal opinion. He was lying through the skin of his teeth. I don't care what the jury say. I don't care what nobody say. That's just my personal opinion, not to say that it is true. But, okay, I'm going to read the verdict, and you tell me, is this fair? I don't think it's really fair. Okay, he got 6 out of 6 charges. He just got not guilty on one of them. Okay. He told the Chicago police officer, Muhammad Baig, or whatever his name is, Baig, that he was a victim of a hate crime. He got guilty on that. Now, remind you, this is when he called the police and they came over his house. Now, when they came over his house, there was 2 officers there. and he gave them the same story at the same time. So, okay, one was Officer Bag, and one was Officer Kimberly Murray. Okay, so he's telling them the story at the same time. So he got guilty for telling Officer Bag that he was a victim of a hate crime. Okay, another charge was telling Officer Bag that he was a victim of battery. Now, remember, this is the same conversation. So if you say you a hate crime, you say you experienced a hate crime, I mean, of course, you're going to say that you was hit, and that's battery, but that's all in the same one conversation. Okay. And remember, I told you the other officer, Kimberly Murray, was standing there. So another charge was telling police detective Kimberly Murray that he was a victim of a hate crime. So really, that's kind of like two of the same things. If they standing there together and you told the same story, okay, sure, you're telling two officers, but you just piling on charges. That's what I think. Okay, so that's three accounts right there. Then he told Officer Murray that he was a victim of battery, the same thing that he told Officer Bag. So really, like I said, because I guess if three officers were standing there or four officers were standing there, it would have been four different counts. You know, they just counting all over the place. Okay, then he got the fifth one was for telling Officer Murray he was a victim of battery. Same thing. So these are repeat things, you know, and they trying to act like, now true, he took a lot of police hours trying to investigate this, because the police, you know, they was wondering who in the heck you know, did this too. So at first they were, you know, all the police spreading all over the city of Chicago wondering who these, you know, white extremists is. So that took man time hours and money from the city. So yes, I could see them being mad, but I don't see all these charges. Okay, the sixth one that he didn't get guilty of, he told Detective Robert Graves that he was a victim of aggravated battery. And I don't know why he got chose not guilty for that. I don't know. I guess they decided to let him go with that. So he got 5 counts. And with the 5 counts, the most he could get is 3 years or $25,000 in restitution. Now he deserves to pay, I think, more than 25,000. I think he needs to do about 50. I don't think that would hurt him, but he needs to do about 50. But you know, I had a conversation with somebody else of color, black person, and they were saying, "Oh, he need about 10 years." Why would he need 10 years for doing that? Because like I said, okay, it was wrong for him to do, but nobody got killed. I mean, you did make a false report, but how many people have made false report that when it really did kill somebody, and then had people looking for somebody and they didn't bury them in the backyard, knew where they was all the time? I mean, you know, I even brought up the fact that, you know, Lori Loughlin and the school thing. A crime is a crime. Okay, you know, she committed a crime. What? One of them got 90 days or 60 days in a fluffy jail. And you might as well say they didn't get anything. One of them got you know, like I say, 60 days in a fluffy jail, and one of them, I think, their sentence got demoted to 2 weeks. So, you know, and of course, that's for unequal justice, because like I say, a crime is a crime. Now, Jussie, he did, you know, he did say what he said, and he wasted a lot of people's time, but to put him in jail for even 3 years. I mean, I could see 6 months just to teach him a lesson, but 3 years, and like I said, somebody else told me 10 years. I mean, sometimes I think, and believe me, sometimes when you black, you are worse on black people. Worse, black people is sometimes worse on black people than other people. I mean, I hate to say that, but you know, it is. I mean, but anyway, I just don't see why you want to give somebody 10 years just for basically telling a lie, when you got people out here like Josh Duggar, that a white guy that was sexually molesting his sisters for years, and everybody knew about it. I mean, everybody knew about it because back when, do you know that show? They had a whole bunch of kids, 19 and counting, or something, or 12 and counting. Something like that. But anyway, it was a show where they had the whole family there, and they had about 12 kids. A white family had about 12 kids, and this Josh was a son. I mean, it was well known that this guy was sexually molesting his sisters. I think one of the sisters even admitted it. And the parents didn't do nothing. The authorities didn't do nothing. And he had a nerve to, a couple of years later, he got married and he had his own kids. And it was stuff coming out about him then. Well, finally they just trialed him. And this was in Arkansas, I think. But he, out of all of this, they used his past of molesting his sisters on, because they just caught him on 2 counts of child pornography. Now, this guy then probably did more than child pornography and everything else, but they used his past to bring just 2 counts of child pornography. Now, that's what I'm talking about, unequal justice. Okay, you got Jussie Smollett, who talked to 2 policemen and told the same story and got double the charges. You got Josh Duggar that been molesting his sisters out in the open for years. And I mean, you could look it up. I mean, this is well known that he was molesting his own sisters. And nobody did anything. I think they may have sent him to a school or something, but basically nobody did anything. The law didn't do anything, but they knew about it. And to show you they knew about it is because when he got caught with this child pornography, the judge allowed his history of, messing with his sisters to help get him on just 2 counts of child pornography. Okay, so he haven't got sentenced yet, but just watch this case because I believe just those 2 counts, he probably won't do no time, or if he do time, it may be probation and maybe about 2 or 3 years. Now, when you think about Jussie Smollett telling a lie, and he looking at 3 years jail time, and Josh Duggar, or however you pronounce it, he's looking at just probably probation in a couple of years. I mean, do you think that's equal justice? Now, like I say, a crime is a crime, but it just seemed like, when they want to really get you, they could get you, but, I can't feel sorry for Jussie because he put himself in that situation. So if he didn't ever do it, he wouldn't be in this predicament. And they say, if you can't do the time, just don't do the crime, especially when you're Black, because you know what you're going to get. So anyway, that's my wrap up for tonight. And just wanted to know, I didn't get any comments, but like I say, if you look at this video later on, just write in the comments, and I always write back about what you think. Do you think it's equal justice? Do you think Jussie should get some time? I mean, I don't know. We'll all see by next week what he's going to get. And I guess we could talk about it then. But in the meantime, thanks for chatting with Cece, and good night.